My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Well, that showcase was certainly, something, I guess. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very exciting Marvel Games-related video, especially now that the recent D23 Disney and Marvel Games Showcase has just concluded. And to just say this right off the bat, I personally think that that showcase wasn't all that necessary. Granted, this was a showcase that was meant to display brand new Disney and Marvel-related games, but as the way on how they described the presentation before it actually occurred, it made it sound like that we were going to get some pretty massive reveals for both Disney and Marvel respectively. And instead, we ended up getting some mobile game announcements, some lower tier projects that weren't all that exciting in the grand scheme of things, and a couple of other reveals which were interesting at the very least. But in regards to seeing some massive Marvel games like Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine, those were obviously nowhere in sight, and will likely be saved for a PlayStation showcase to hopefully be revealed sometime relatively soon. And for me personally, while I wasn't expecting any major Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine gameplay to be unveiled during this presentation, I do find it a bit strange that Disney and Marvel did showcase them at the very end of the presentation sizzle reel, even though we didn't get any news about them during the presentation itself. But on the flip side, we finally received an official trailer as to what exactly the Skydance new media game is going to be in collaboration with Marvel. And while there were heavy rumors in advance that it was going to be a AAA Fantastic Four game, which I personally would have loved to see, the reveal that we did end up getting is still pretty interesting if you're a fan of both of these characters. Because as it was revealed, Skydance New Media is officially working on a currently untitled Captain America and Black Panther game set in World War II. Now, coming from Skydance's personal Twitter account directly, they do state 4 heroes, 2 worlds, 1 war. In collaboration with Marvel Games, Skydance New Media is proud to share a first look at the ensemble cast in this original story set in our unique Marvel universe. Now, while that isn't necessarily a whole lot to go off of, especially if you did see the rather short trailer that accompanies this picture, we did actually receive even more interesting details about this game from IGN, which went on to highlight that Amy Hennig and Skydance New Media have revealed that their upcoming narrative-driven ensemble adventure game with Marvel Entertainment will be centered around Captain America and Black Panther during World War II. During the story, players will travel to Paris, Wakanda, and potentially more places. While the game is currently untitled, it promises to feature 4 playable heroes, including a young Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, Azuri, who is T'Challa's grandfather and the World War II era Black Panther, Gabriel Jones, who is a US soldier and member of the Howling Commandos, and Nanali, who is the leader of the fledgling Wakandan spy network. And while it isn't specifically mentioned in this article, Amy Hennig herself did confirm during an IGN interview that the game will in fact not be co-op, but rather a completely single-player narrative-driven experience.
Cooperative play gonna factor into this video game?
Narratively, yes. Gameplay mechanics-wise, no. That's not the intent.
So overall, everybody, we are still in the very early ages of learning about this game, especially if it doesn't even have a title yet. But in my own personal opinion, while I am a major fan of Captain America and Black Panther, I am a little bit perplexed as to why exactly we're getting a game featuring these 2 characters, especially if we already received a massive AAA Avengers game featuring both of these heroes in their own dedicated storylines. Primarily in the case of Black Panther, who already had his own standalone expansion for Marvel's Avengers with the War for Wakanda DLC. If anything, when they went on to initially describe that this game was going to feature an ensemble cast, I immediately thought to other Marvel teams like the X-Men, the Defenders, or the main one that I wanted to see of the Fantastic Four. I do do feel like that there are other Marvel characters that Skydance could have utilized to dedicate a complete standalone AAA game to. However, that might just be my own personal bias talking, considering that the Fantastic Four is one of my all-time favorite superhero teams in the Marvel Universe, and having a completely AAA dedicated game for them would have been just outright awesome. But regardless, there is a lot of potential here for this Skydance Marvel game, especially considering that we now know it is going to fully feature a story pertaining to Captain America and Black Panther. However, we won't really know exactly what the game's about until we actually end up seeing gameplay of it. And considering that this game is still pretty early in development, we might have to end up waiting just a bit longer. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What do you think of this Captain America and Black Panther game coming from Skydance New Media? And what would you personally rate the Disney and Marvel Games Showcase for D23? I wasn't really a big fan as to how the presentation was structured and how they kind of quickly went through a lot of games in a rather small time frame. But it is nice to know that Marvel's Midnight Suns will be releasing in December of this year, and we now have even more info about the Skydance New Media game. But I wasn't too big of a fan of all the other games that were shown besides those. So for me, I would give this showcase a 4 out of 10. But until next time, true believers, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel Games videos like this in the future. And without further ado, peace out.